Hey, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I just put the finishing touches on today's antique junk journal. I'm quite happy about it. It's very pretty, and it is really a compilation of memories and history. So I took a vintage book from the 50s. I love these original tape marks. Somebody must have taped down the dust cover at some point, which is long gone. And I added 5 different pieces of doily, vintage and antique doily here. And then I have my vintage beads strung down the side, and I've layered just a whole whack of different ephemera on the front. I've got antique dictionary pages, vintage pattern paper. This is an antique image out of a school book. And then I pulled this title page, Days of Her Life, which I love for a junk journal. And there's more antique paper here, a book spine, a pattern instruction page, and a handwritten page down here. It's just so fun. I especially love this handmade lace flower up here. So before I put it in my Etsy shop, I'm going to take on a little tour, and you can find it at hyperstamper.etsy.com, along with some of my other journals there. And just a reminder to those of you who are new to my channel that everything I use is authentic, vintage, and antique ephemera, and that includes postcards, photos, greeting cards, plates from books, just all kinds of things. So here we go. I just covered a very scribbled upon inside cover there with an antique handwritten page. And I love this, the Thought Book. I pulled that from a title off the page of an antique book. I love it when it has the school stamp on it. So this is from Walsh Public School, and there are some antique stamps there. This is the original first set of pages. It's the publisher's and title page, and a previous owner used binding tape, which is a really strong tape, and I just left it there because I was so impressed that somebody used that just to keep a single page in. It's really used for spine work. And then there's the original title page and the publisher's page there, 1958. So this is the first little pocket here. I put some vintage upholstery fabric, or sorry, no, that's wrong, tapestry. And then this is a twine English block tape, and it is from the early 1900s, and it's complete there. Yeah, I just think it's really, really cool. And then this is a hilarious stereoscope, and I think it was meant to be funny, a little bit of humor, and it says, "The splash in the handmaid's hard luck." Look at her. She tipped over a bit too far hanging onto the canoe, and that is from the 1890s. I think it's hysterical. This here is from a 1950s children's book page, and I just put some antique paper on the back so you could have extra journaling space. This is a page from 1933 Girls' Own Annual, and it's a lady table tennis player from England. And this I love is a I believe it's 1905 postcard. And look at that, it's from Halifax, very stunning. And then this is an original first page of the book here that you can journal on. And then this is a vintage piece here from a store in England, a vintage store in England. Now, I've got some tea-dyed paper there, and then this is a children's book page. And in this antique book page pocket, I have these 2 really cool photographs. I added them both because it looks like they came from the same trip. So one is a family in a canoe, I believe. I can definitely see a man there. And then this is another set of boat people out on rowing boats and little tour boats. I just love them. I love the sepia tone. I love how worn they are. I love everything about them. So I thought they should stay together since they've journeyed so far together. And then that is just another antique page with extra journaling space on the back. This is the cover of a Miss Wiggins book, and I turned it into a pocket because the top of the book had the corner ripped off, and I hate to waste it because it's such a pretty image of this woman, Mrs. Wiggs, with her book. Now, this is a gorgeous 1950s, so 75 years old, bird plate out of the Audubon Birdwatcher's book. And look at these. I would die to see one of these. Oh my gosh, I would love to see a belted kingfisher. They're just stunning. Beautiful, beautiful full color plates there, original. And then this is neat inside of this pocket from Alice in Wonderland is a McCall's pattern, and the person had pinned the fabric onto it but never got around to making it, and that is a little sheep body. I think it's fun. I left the original pin in there too. And this is a vintage greeting card for a new baby, and they've got this little surprise card on the front, little bonus card. Isn't that sweet? And then over here, just a little piece of ephemera here. It's quite old, and this is back in the day when you would put this into the empty bottle that the milkman would pick up, asking him to bring this the next day. So a pint of cream, half pint. Another children's book page, a vintage botanical page. This is from the 1940s. That is an iron-on transfer for embroidery. That looks like it would have made a beautiful pillowcase or tea towel or hand towel. Lovely, right? And this here is from a vintage box of book plates. So that would have been put in the cover of the plate to let you know whose book it belonged to, who the book belonged to. I can do this. I can speak English sometimes. This is an EduCard, vintage, a little music sheet, and the number 19 on it. And then this here is a vintage Trees of America book page, nice and colorful. And this is one of my favorite new things. You'll be seeing this a lot coming up. This is from a school architecture book from 1856. And just a look at this is how the engineers would have built chalkboards and desks and schools themselves and inkwells. It was just fascinating. So lots of this. This is just beautiful. I love it so much. I hope you do too. Vintage school book page. And there is a Beatrix Potter page. Look at how sweet that is. That's sweet. And that is from the 1930s. That's original as well. And then that is just the really fun dust cover of a book. I loved the color of it, so I turned it into a side pocket. And look at this fun, colorful 1955 recipe book page. It was in like a binder. And this one is all about buffets, birthday buffets, and all kinds of fun luncheons. Really fun. I love the photographs. This is from 1956, my book house series. Nice colorful image there of people running down the street. And more vintage birds. This is beautiful from the 1800s, this little family of moose deer. And we have a couple of fun things in here, a lot going on over here. We've got this sweet, adorable little vintage kittens playing card, and I think they're from the 40s or 50s. And then I've got a 1930s flinch card, and to go with that, this is the original rules for playing it. Now it's a little bit worn and tattered, but I thought it was fun, and I've been holding on to it, and because I'm down to the last of my flinch cards for that box, I wanted to attach that. And there is an 1800s little image that I added more journaling paper to the back of. There we go. There's more to come. That is from a very old Monopoly game box. You can see how worn it is, but I love it. And then this is from the 1920s, the Balloon Man image there. More journaling space on the back with antique paper. Love these images from the 30s. This I just made a fun cluster page there. And then this is from the 1800s, making maple sugar, which is a big deal up where I'm from, of course. And just a lovely little image there. So I left that be so somebody could do whatever they like with that, collaging or mixed media or just enjoying reading it. 1950s page here. And a 1950s Pearl Shop receipt you can journal on. And this is from 1887 Chatterbox. Ned and his pupil. He's talking to his little bird there, trying to teach it to sing. And an early 1900s perennial botanical page. And here is that wonderful rest of that side pocket there. That's the back. This is the front. Pollyanna grows up. Look at that wonderful dust jacket image. And the funny thing is, you don't often find dust jackets from the 20s and 30s, but this is a great example of a fabulous one. And I love how worn it is. So I put it in this way so you could journal inside. And then this here, I picked up from a 1950s movie magazine. Look at this. Look at these images. Look at that lampshade. Look at her hat. I love everything about it. So it's just a really fun piece of history and memories. And I just think it's very special and fun. Another children's book page. This is a really cool envelope, and that is from the 30s during the war. Isn't that cool? So you can tuck anything you like back there. And Let's flip and see what's over here is another really cool piece, and that is advertisement for a produce department of storage. Remember these? Look at that! I just love it. Look how kitschy that is. Isn't that neat? That's so fun. And then we have one of these 1959 children's sticker book pages for nature, and this is from 1925. Mother Goose rhymes and songs, and then this is a Gardens of Memory. I just love that. So tons of journaling space there. And here is a 1951 diary page, and this is from August 11 or 12. If you want, I can change the date out. If you're the person who gets to own this journal, just let me know when you check out. And this is from Florida Botanical Gardens book, and it is the Mexican creeper on one side and the Madagascar jasmine, which I'd never heard of and would love to see that on the other. Just love the colors. That is from 1960. And then I just think that's hilarious. Include baby in family fun. This is so fun. And that's the end. I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. Please subscribe, leave me a comment, and come back soon. Bye for now.